afternoon, everybody. In case you weren't in the room at the time, this class is being taken. What I didn't announce before is that it will only be viewed by Colin, myself, and other instructors. We're going to be working with video because we feel we can help the students more. And if you're uncomfortable with that, you can just move to this side of the room because the camera's sort of onto that area. Colin's got it all up and running with sound. So now, is there anybody that has never done the Moksha series ever before? Raise your hand. Oh. And I teach what I like to call bad yoga, and that stands for the three most important things that you should do in every yoga posture you ever take in order of importance. Breath is always first, alignment is always second, and depth is always last, after breath and alignment. Always in that order. Don't bust in or bust out of postures. Just go into them slowly and come out of them slowly. Slowly come to your feet and get started. Have a great class, everybody. Snuggle your feet into the mat, separating your toes, letting them come back together. Front of the feet touching, either the balls of the feet touching or the big toes touching if you can. Interlocking the fingers, palms down. Straighten your arms and look down. You're going to stare at one knuckle all the way up, and then you'll stare at your fingers interlocking all the way down. This will build focus. Get ready by exhaling all your breath first. And now begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, energy. Opening the lungs, expanding the chest. One more sip when you get to the top. Flip the palms and let it out. Interlocking the fingers in front of the heart, pressing the arms straight. Inhale, eyes on one knuckle, circling the arms upwards. One more sip when you get to the top. Flip the palms and let it out. Drawing the belly button right up against the spine, making you thirsty for the next breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A clean, smooth, hollow sound in the back of your throat, slightly constricted. Inhale. Exhale. Do 2 more, make them your biggest. Inhale. Exhale. And now last one, make it the biggest breath of your life. Inhale until you can't inhale anymore. Exhale. Good one. Arms by your side, tree posture. Engage your left leg, turn the right knee out. Pick up the right foot, bottom of the right foot above the knee, below the knee, on the thigh or on the calf. Keep it away from the knee, hands come to prayer. Anjali Mudra. As you bring the right knee back, you try to open the right hip flexor forward gently towards the mirror. On your next inhale, hands float up to the sky. And then if you like, separating the palms, pointing them at the mirror. Trying to touch the crown of your head to the ceiling as you try to press your left foot right through the floor. And now slowly change. Right knee forward, feet drop together, arms float down by your side. Engage your right leg, turn the left knee up. Same thing, other side. Left foot above the knee, below the knee. Also make sure that the left toes are pointing directly down. Hands come to prayer. Left knee comes back, right foot stays heavy. On your next inhale, hands can float up to the sky. And then if you like, separating your palms, pointing them at the mirror. Trying to touch the crown of your head to the ceiling, and this time trying to press your right foot right through the floor as you breathe deeply. And now slowly change. Left knee forward, feet drop together, arms float down by your side. Inhale your arms up over the head, crescent moon. Interlock your fingers, releasing the index fingers. This is known as the steeple grip. Squeeze all the air out between your palms. Belly button in, chest is lifted. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, pour your upper body over to the right side of the room. Top shoulder back, bottom shoulder forward. As soon as the top shoulder comes forward, it turns it into a forward bend. So we want to keep it back and do a perfect sideways bend. Every inhale, lift the chest. Every exhale, lengthen the arms. Straightening out your right arm, will pull the left arm to the right wall. At the same time, sending your hips as far as you can over to the left side of the room. Enjoying the sensation of stretch all the way down the left side of your body from the fingertip to the heel. Go to your maximum now for the last 5 seconds. Hold, breathe, and very slowly change. Inhale up to center. Exhale at center. Inhale, inflate the entire upper body, and on the exhale, pour it over to the other side. Same thing. Top shoulder back, bottom shoulder forward. Every inhale, lift the chest. Every exhale, lengthen the arms. Spiraling the chest upwards. Trying to separate the ribs on the right side of your body. Pull the right arm to the left wall. Send your hips to the right wall. Really work. Really maintain this posture. Remember, postures are like relationships in cars. Easy to get into. Lots of work to maintain. Lots going on underneath the hood. Squeeze your palms together and now stretch into your hands and follow the sensation of stretch. Go deep for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale up, exhale, the arms float down. They don't drop down. Everything moves with the breath. Utkatasana, powerful pose. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Bend forward, grab onto your big toes. Look at yourself in the mirror. Level your thighs to the floor. As soon as you're looking at yourself in the mirror, just level your thighs to the floor. And then once you see that your thighs are level to the floor, let go of your toes and lift your torso into the posture. If this way works for you, you can always do it this way. And if it doesn't work for you, you can do it the other way. Weight so much into the heels that you should feel like if I touched you on the forehead, you would fall over backwards. Fingers together, thumbs with the fingers, shoulders are visible just above the hands in the mirror. Start drawing the knees away from the mirror, away from the mirror. Bring it back more into the heels, more, and now slowly change. Inhale up to standing, exhale at standing. Inhale up onto the toes, and on the exhale, hips down, knees forward, heels up. You only need to drop the hips about 6 or 8 inches. The main part, or the focus of this part of the posture is to see how high you can get up onto those toes. Pressing all the toes into the mat. One day, in this part of the posture, you'll be up on your big toes alone. Pressing the toes into the mat, try to press them through the floor. And now slowly change. Get long first. Gently drop onto your heels. Bring the weight forward. Keep those arms strong. Bring the weight forward into the balls of your feet. Glue the thighs together. Heels leave the mat slightly. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, as slow as your body will allow, come on down. Squeezing those thighs together, down and forward. Engaging those inner thigh muscles, not letting the stronger outer thigh muscles take over like they usually do, like they want to do. And now I want you to emphasize this posture by squeezing those thighs together twice as hard. Wait for the next inhale and ride it up even slower than you went down, as slow as your body will allow. Release the posture, feet together, arms by your side. Close your eyes, take a deep breath through the nose. Just soften on the inside. Relax on the inside. Good. Open your eyes for eagle. Feet together now. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale the right arm under the left, palms come together, thumbs towards the face. Interlocking your fingers if you need to, or if you can't get it, just give your shoulders a nice big hug now. Sitting down deeply. Inhale your right thigh way up and over your left thigh and squeeze. Cutting off the blood supply to the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. The breath is flowing, that's the B. The A is alignment. Make sure the right elbow is directly above the right knee in the sitting down, wrapping that leg around, pulling the elbows down, forcing the chest up through those intertwined arms. Squeezing and breathing, squeezing and breathing. And now slowly change. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, the left arm under the right, palms come together, hook it up, set it up. Sitting down deeply. Inhale your left thigh way up and over your right thigh. Trying to bring the top of your left foot behind your right calf. If it's not going there today, just point it there, and one day it will. If it is there today, slide it down the back of your calf. One day your left big toe will touch the back of your right heel. I want you to squeeze twice as hard now, squeezing and breathing. Slowly change. Twisted prayer. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, namaste, hands drop to namaskar, Anjali Mudra, sitting down deeply. Twisting your upper body to the right, left elbow hooks across the right thigh, left elbow across the right thigh. Knees together, make sure that left knee didn't pop forward. The more you sit down, the more you can twist. And also try to make sure that your hands are right in the center of your chest. Change, touch your fingers to the ceiling on the way up. Touch your fingers to the roof. Hands drop to the center of the chest, sitting down, taking it to the other side, twisting to the left, right elbow hooks across. Check your knees, check your feet. And make sure the hands are right in the center of your chest or close to it. Feeling the twist in the belly button area, make sure your hips don't move to the right. Square up your hips. Change, touch your fingers to the ceiling now. Exhale your arms down behind your back for a backward bend, protecting your lower spine with your fingers. Squeezing the elbows together behind the body. Take an inhale as you lift the chest and look up. Exhale, take your backward bend. Pressing the floor away with your heels. If you're clenching your buttocks, release them. Clench your thighs instead. Every inhale, lift the chest. Every exhale, relax back. Soften the front of your body. Slowly change. Come on up. Beautiful. Come on up to the front of your mat. We'll do the runner's lunge. Separate, come on up to the front of your mat. Separate your feet 2 inches apart. That's good enough. Hands are on the sides of the hips. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, forward your upper body forward. And now do that little dance. Grab opposite elbows, right knee forward, left knee forward, right knee forward, left knee forward. Start shaking your head, yes, yes, yes. Let gravity melt your torso over your thighs. Bring your hands down on either side of your feet now. Bend the knees until the palms come flat to the mat. Take an inhale and exhale your right leg back. Real long, real strong. And now make sure that the right ankle is directly above the right toes. If it's not, walk the toes backwards until the ankle is directly above it. Make sure that your front shin bone is straight up and down like a lamppost. 3 inches. Make sure that the knee is not in front of the ankle or dropping behind it. 4 to 6 inches. Beautiful. The front shin is the foundation of the posture. Make sure you're not resting the belly on the front thigh. Engage that right leg again. Stretch the crown of the head forward, the right heel to the back wall. And now we're going to start a 100-yard dash. On your marks, ready, set, soften the legs, step the feet back together. We'll take it to the other side. Take another inhale as you soften the knees. Exhale the left leg back. Make sure the left ankle is directly above the left toes. Front shin bone is straight up and down. You're light on your fingertips. Stretch the crown of the head forward and the left heel to the back wall. And just breathe. Square up your hips. Press your right heel towards the back wall. Left toes into the ground at the same time. Soften the legs. Set the feet back together. Inhale, hands to hips. Exhale, float the body up, nice and slow. Warrior, heavy feet. Take an inhale as you soften the knees. Exhale, the right leg back. Check that the right toes are now pointing at about 1 or 2 o'clock. So they're not pointing to the right wall and they're not pointing forward. They're pointing somewhere in between. And now twist, twist, twist that right hip forward. Square up the hips with the front mirror. Inhale, arms up. Palms facing. Exhale, sink into the lunge. Once again, the front shin bone is straight up and down. You can check it by looking at your left knee, and you should see your left big toe only on the mat beyond your knee and the floor. If you can't see your left big toe, move the foot forward. If you see more than your left big toe, move it back. It's foolproof. Nice direction there. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Now the back toes turn right, left toe still point forward. Stretching forward, stretching back. Looking good. Flip the palms to the right wall. Bring the left elbow beside the left knee and look up at the right thumb. Trying to touch your chin to the right shoulder, simultaneously stretching the crown of the head out of the body. And now, press the left knee away with the left elbow. Bring the right arm back to spiral the chest upwards to let the breath come in. Point the heart to the sky so that the joy comes in. Change, please. And just making faces for Colin. And now, heel toe your back foot in as you bring the arms above the head, shoulder distance apart, fingers spread. Hands drop to the hips. Square up that back heel first, please. Then soften the knees, step the feet back together. Beautiful. Take another inhale as you soften the knees. Exhale the left leg back. The toes of the back foot are now pointing at about 10 or 11 o'clock. Twist, twist, twist that left hip forward. Square up the torso with the front mirror. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink into the lunge. And take a look at your front knee. Make sure the front shin's straight up and down. But also make sure that the center of your knee is lined up with your center front toe. Take a big inhale, inflate the upper body. On the exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Left toes now point left, right toe still point forward, stretching forward, stretching back. Touch the mirror in the back wall. Flip the palms to the left wall, bring the right elbow beside the right knee and look up at the left thumb. And really express the posture. This is a master posture. We're working every major system of the body here. So don't just hang out in it waiting until I say it's over. Spiral the chest upwards and really breathe into it to feed it. Only the tops of the bodies move. Come on up. Everybody's doing great. Hold the lunge or sink back into it if you lost it. One day your front thigh will be parallel to the floor, just like Catherine's here. Eventually you'll all lunge that deeply. Heel toe your back foot in as you bring the arms above the head, shoulder distance apart, fingers spread. Sinking back into the lunge. Hands drop to the hips. Square up that back heel first, please. Then soften the knees, step the feet back together gently. Never step off the turned foot. Keeping the hands on the sides of the hips, take another inhale as you soften the knees once again. Exhale the right leg back. And then spin on your heels to face the right wall. Check your feet. Line up the outside edges of your feet. And now, hands are on the sides of the hips, belly button in, chest is lifted, shoulders are down and back. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, proud chest all the way, softening your knees on the way down. Now, check for that flat back in the mirror. Just bring your fingertips to the floor, and now make sure that your bum is not dropping behind your heels. If it is, just lean into your fingers and get that vertical, and now you can go further if you'd like. Flatten your hands and you can walk your hands backward. The tops of your fingers will line up with the tops of your toes in the center of the mat. And if you want to go even further than that, you can reach for the outside edges of your feet as close to the ankles as possible. Point the forehead to the floor to keep the chin away from the chest. Every inhale, pull. Every exhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs. Change, please. Inhale, hands to hips. Exhale, float the body up. And now, once you get upright, I just want you to heel toe your feet a couple of times until they're approximately 2.5 feet apart, just like this. And then simply do this. Lift your toes, spin on your heels, face the back wall. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, palms touch, thumbs crossed. Tuck your chin into your chest and round it down. Touch the forehead to the right knee. Try to touch your nose to your belly button, but eventually the forehead will touch the right knee. We're choking off the throat here to stimulate the thymus gland. The thymus gland is responsible for, let's just call it the boss of your immune system right now. One day you'll have such good contact, forehead to the knee, you'll melt that right leg straight. Short little breath, stay with it. And now slowly change. Touch your fingers to the ceiling on the way up. Spin on your heels right around to face the front mirror. Fantastic energy in this room. Tuck your chin to the chest and round down. Touch the forehead to the left knee. Short little breath, just stay with it. This posture is a bar of solid gold. It just doesn't feel like it right now. But the benefits will. If you're having an easy time touching the forehead to the knee, touch the top of your forehead to the knee. Change, touch your fingers to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to hips. Square up the back heel first, please. Soften the knee, step the feet back together. Fold forward, fold in half. Walk yourself, oh no, let's do the runner. Let's do the second runner's lunge. Since this is on video, let's make it real. Take a big inhale as you soften the knees. Take an exhale, right leg back. Runner's lunge 2. Line up that front shin straight up and down. Make sure that you're light on your fingers right now. And if your fingers are really light, you can go up to the next stage. But you can interlock your fingers on the left thigh. Here's the test now. If there's any weight on those interlocked fingers, I want you to go back to the first stage. If those interlocked fingers are light, go up to the next stage. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. And now take another inhale as you lift the chest and look up. Exhale into a backward bend and a deeper lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up where you got in. Hands to the knee, hands to the floor. Soften the legs, step the feet back together. Take another inhale as you soften the knees once again. Exhale the left leg back. Front shin straight up and down. You're light on your fingertips. Make sure that the left ankle is directly above the left toes. And now you know the drill. If your fingers are light, go up. Interlock. And if they're still light, you can keep going up. Inhale, arms up, palms touch, thumbs crossed. Final stage if you want it. You don't have to do it. Inhale as you lift the chest, look up. Exhale, walk your eyes and fingers across the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to knee, hands to the floor. Soften the legs, step the feet back together. Inhale, hands to hips. Exhale, float the body up. We're going to flow the next 3 postures together. And it should look something like this. We start off in dancer's pose. And then, without letting our left foot touch the ground, we turn it into toppling tree. And once again, without letting our left foot touch the ground, we turn it into tree. And we'll just do the beginning of tree again, just like that. Okay, right palm up. Like you got a tray of smoothies or a tray of martinis, you don't want to spill them. Kick the right foot up and hook the foot with the right hand. If you catch the top of your foot correctly, the eye of your right elbow should be looking at the right wall. If the eye of your right elbow is not looking at the right wall, flip your hands. Inhale, left arm up. Kick down and stretch up to string the bow, and then kick again to fire that left arm arrow forward. It's the power of the kick that will power this posture. And we're only holding it for half as long, so you can go right into it. Eyes are level in the mirror. Ask yourself right now, what can I do to make this posture more beautiful? And do it. And now turn it into toppling tree. Try to do it without letting your right foot touch the ground at all, if you possibly can. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, tree. Turn it into tree. Just the beginning tree like we did at the beginning of the class. class, and just stand and breathe and tree. Every human being in every 24-hour period takes in 2 to 3 liters of water and 15,000 liters of air. So take lots, breathe deeply. And now slowly change. Right leg comes down. Give your left leg a nice big shake. Let's do it on the other side. Left palm up right away. Don't think, just breathe. Kick that left foot up, hook it up. If you catch your foot correctly, the eye of your left elbow should be looking at the left wall. And if it's not, flip your hand. Flip your hand. The eye of your flip your hand clockwise and catch your foot again. I can do it for you, but I'd rather see you do it yourself. Flip it down. Yeah, just hook it and catch it. Good. Inhale, right arm up. Knees together, kick down and stretch up, and then go for it. Kick and reach. Good technique for this posture. Give it a try. Kick into your left hand, drop your left thigh, and bring your left hip forward. If you can do those 3 things all at once, the rest of this posture will just fall into place. And now, without letting your left foot touch the ground, turn it into toppling tree if you can. This is going to build a lot of strength in your right calf right now. Beautiful. Toppling trees, everybody. Now you know what Superman's view is like when he's flying around. And turn it into tree. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. Just breathe in tree now. Real trees give oxygen. Human trees take oxygen. Release. Give your right leg a shake. And now, before we lay down, I'd like everybody that is on camera to turn towards the camera and wave and say, "Hi, Colin."
Hi, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
Okay, now turn around and relax. Show us. I like it personal these days. I'm going to be opening a studio in Pickering in a couple of months, and one of the products that I'm going to offer is an audio tape that you can come in and say, "I want a moksha class." Say for your wife as a surprise thing. Put the towel down with the name, and I just teach the class as if she was there, and I say, "Oh, that's awesome. That's great. How you doing?" And then she gets to hear that when she practices. So now just turn around and lay down Shavasana. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears, then press them down, and then kind of start walking the shoulder blades together a little bit. And you should feel the chest open a little bit. And now just surrender. In this room, we're trying to balance out the Shiva, male heart, and the Shakti, female soft energy that exists within all of us. So just as important as it is to get very Shiva, male heart, and runner's lunge or dancer's pose, it's equally, if not more important, to get very Shakti, female soft right now, and just sort of melt into the tower. Balancing out the male and female energy that exists within all of us. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Just to make you aware of something, every time that I say that phrase, inhale, belly rises, exhale, belly falls, at every studio, the entire class, almost the entire class, starts breathing a little bit deeper. You should always try to practice some breath awareness. And I've been reading a book from India, from a yogi there, and it's about breath. And if you can just take 3 breaths at any time during the day, and I'm talking about 3 focused breaths while you're driving, it's fine, anytime, it will actually restart your respiratory system and make you breathe better for the whole day. So try that once a day. And now we're going to do our first roll up. Zip up your legs, flex your toes towards your nose, cross your arms across your heart, roll up. Double dip forward, double blast from the mouth, reach for the feet, hold the stretch at the end. I'm just going to say that once more for your next roll up. Halfway through, it's a double jerk forward, double blast from the mouth, reach for the feet, hold the stretch at the end. Okay, flip onto your bellies for the spine strengthening series. We'll start with Cobra, Bhujangasana. Point your toes and squeeze the legs together. That's the first step. Then squeeze the thighs together so hard that the knees raise off the floor. tops of the fingers line up with the tops of the shoulders, thumbs line up with the nipples, elbows are going to hug the body. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. And lift the front of your body away from the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Don't use your hands, just use your lower back strength. Keep on lifting all the way to the belly button if you possibly can. Look up, lift up. Where the eyes go, the body will follow. Everybody do me a favor and lift 1 inch higher because you're on fire. And now let it go. Right away we're going to go for Salavasana, rocking from side to side, palms down. It's okay, it's just like a practice. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a little dance. And then just soften Shavasana. And we're going to set up Salavasana, I should say, not Shavasana. Palms down, baby fingers touching, fingers are spread. Kiss the towel, put your mouth on the towel, and no matter what happens, keep your mouth on the towel. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, lift your legs first, and then keep pressing with your hands and try to lift your body away from the floor. Keep your mouth on the towel. If you lose your breath, you lose the posture. Breathe. Try to put your mouth on the towel if you possibly can. Kiss the towel. Put your mouth on the towel. There we go. For 5. Higher. 4. 3, 2, 1. Soften. Let it go with control. Interlock your fingers behind your back. Release your index fingers just to see how that feels today for you. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, lift up. Lift everything off the floor except your hip bones. The hip bones are pressing into the floor. Squeeze the shoulders together behind the body. Eyes and thighs rise up to the skies. Don't compromise. Energize. Don't wear thin skies. The rapping yogi. Kick into bow. Kick into bow. Jennifer likes my rapping. That's good. Jennifer's my favorite. She likes me. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, bring your knees together to start with. And the exhale, kick. Roll onto the soft part of your belly. You're trying to kick your arms right out of the sockets. You can kick hard. Nobody's been successful at doing it. If you're the first person to kick your arms out of the sockets, you will be known on CNN. You'll be known at every yoga studio today. So kick. And now let it go. Soften. Look to the left. Just let it go. All that's left is pure love when you let go of everything you don't need. Soften and melt. And now very slowly lift yourself into child's pose. And just soften in child. Separate your knees nice and wide if you can. Let the chest drop through. Forehead's flat on the mat, tip of the nose is just barely touching the terry cloth. Arms are real bent and real relaxed. And if you ever want to see what it looks like when your hips start to open, you can just lift your head and take a look at the mat that I'm standing on here. The Sarah's hips are opening up quite nicely. And they just sort of sink between your ankles and eventually touch the floor. Do a little dance for Colin's video, no worries. This is called the Huckleberry. And now let's do 100 downward dogs. No, we'll just do 3. Come on up into the table. Let's set it up right. Hands are going to be shoulder distance apart. Knees are going to be hip distance apart. Make sure that the creases of your wrists line up with the front of the yoga mat. Separate those fingers nice and wide. I want you to make sure that you press all the fingers into the mat and pretend that there's an elephant standing on your hands. So no air into the palms or the fingers. Inhale, curl the toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Arms and spine are now in one line. The space between the feet should be 6 inches or less, so 2, 3, 4, 5 inches is okay. And Make sure that the heels are off the mat. Otherwise, just walk your feet back until they are. Okay. Inhale, forward plank. If the shoulders are in front of the wrist, walk the hands forward. Don't walk the feet back. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Point the toes, bring the body through, up dog. Curl the toes, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, forward plank, hold it. Okay, so you're in plank and you're holding it. I'm just popping out to Starbucks for a coffee, but when I get back, I hope that everybody will still be in plank. You're on your own here. So no, I'm really leaving. Okay, here I go. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Downward dog. Check the space between your feet. I see feet coming apart like crazy. 6 inches or less. Inhale, forward plank. We'll just do 2 more. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Last one. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Point the toes, body comes through, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Curl the toes, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now, you can just stay here and take 3 complete, full, deep belly breaths. And once you've done those 3 breaths, go ahead and drop yourself into child. Separate your knees the width of the mat when you drop into child. Take those breaths first. Just soften and melt. And from this posture, we're going to, after we catch our breath a little bit here, we're going to go into a more relaxing posture, half tortoise. So right now it's all about completing the exhales and slowing down your breathing. You think you're done your exhale? Exhale just a little bit more. Now, without coming up, just squeeze your knees together till they touch underneath the body. And extend your arms up in front of you. Palms touch, thumbs are side by side, biceps are behind the ears. You're going to try and lock out the elbows one day so the arms are straight and off the ground, only the baby fingers touching. Every inhale, stretch those arms forward. Every exhale, let the hips drop. I can give you something to do if you want to. You know, so that you just don't lose the momentum of the class. You know what I mean? Nice. And you don't have to go deep. You can just stay like that. Do whatever you want to do. Change. Please press your knees into the ground and touch your fingers to the ceiling on the way up. You can stay in that. Come up under the arm. That's one you can stand for a little bit. And now exhale your arms down. Come on up to the front of the mat. We're going to go into Supta Virasana, second variation. So come up to the front of the mat. Separate your knees the width of the mat. Touch your big toes together and sit on the soles of your feet. And now start walking your body backwards, one elbow at a time. If your knees leave the ground, hold it right there. Great. One more. You keep doing it until the next spot. I'll think of something better, but that's the best we can do offhand. And now, what do you need? Certainly anything for you, my darling. There you go. And then walk your body backwards, one elbow at a time. If your knees leave the mat, hold it right there and leave it right there. If you can get all the way back and your shoulders touch down, grab opposite elbows above the head. And now, clench your buttocks up, press your knees into the ground, lift your pelvis up and forward. This clenching of the buttocks and this up and forward motion is the only time you will massage your lumbar curve. And now very slowly, grab your shins. Chest comes up first, head hangs way back and comes up last. Beautiful. Stand right up onto your knees. We'll do a 30-second count. Knees are going to be 6 inches apart, heels 6 inches apart. Protect your lower spine with your hand, foot fall asleep, or foot cramp. Oh, something else. And now, protect your lower spine with your hands. Squeeze the elbows together behind the body. Take an inhale as you lift the chest, look up. Exhale, walk your eyes across the ceiling. When you can see the back wall behind you, you don't have to, but try to. Reach for your ankles, one hand at a time. And now, for the next 25 seconds or so, every inhale, lift the chest. Every exhale, hips come forward. And I'm going to ask you, everybody except Catherine, to let it go so that you can see what Catherine's doing here. She's attempting advanced camel. Isn't that kind of cool? Okay, change. Thank you, Catherine. And inhale as you turn around, or sit down, hips on the heels. Inhale as you turn around, exhale as you lay down. Surrender to Shavasana. Soften. Breathe. You may feel some dizziness, perfectly normal after camel, some strange emotions coming up. Just notice them and let them drift away on your exhale. Okay, zip up your legs, flex your toes towards your nose, cross your arms across the heart, roll up. Double drift forward, double walk from the butt, reach for the feet, hold the stretch at the end. And now turn around and get yourself into downward dog. We'll take downward dog into pigeon. Or pigeon, or Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Eka means one, Pada means leg, Kapot means pigeon, Asana means posture, and Raja means king. So get yourself into downward dog. We're going to take downward dog into pigeon, but before we do it, we just do this. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Looking good. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, adho. And now, just walk it out a little bit to soften up those hips. And drop your knees to the ground. Knees together, heels together. Sit down, hips on the heel. Rabbits next. Flip the towel over your heels if you need to get the right grip. And the right grip looks like this. Thumb on the outside, peace finger on the inside. If you do get the right grip, the palm of your hand will be across the arch of your foot. Just do what you can. Eyes forward, never turn your head and rabbit. Tuck your chin to the chest, round it down. Try to touch your nose to your belly button. And what will happen instead is the top of your head comes to the towel, the forehead comes to the knees. You pull on your heels and you lift just your hips up to the sky. Looking up at your belly button, drawing your belly button into the spine, trying to draw your heels together if you possibly can. Just lifting this early if you can. Stay round. Think of a cinnamon bun. Looking good. And now very, very slowly, I want you to sit down. Round up. Head comes up last. Good. Inhale as you turn around. Exhale as you lay down. Right to your breath. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Did I only do one side of pigeon or did I do both sides? I did went right into rabbit. Oh, great, on film too. So we'll do pigeon next. Zip up your legs, flex your toes towards your nose, cross your arms across the heart, roll up. Turn around. It was those downward dogs that threw me off. Well, anyways, it's been nice teaching here. Get yourself into downward dog, and then we'll do the pigeon. We can't forget the pigeon. Swing your right leg way up high, back down and through. The right knee should touch the right wrist, favor the right wrist. Advanced students, it's going to poke out beyond the right wrist. The worst place for your knee to be right now is between your hands, so make sure it favors the right wrist. Good. And you can lift it up, move it over, and now walk up onto your fingers. Walk your fingers beside your hips. At this point, I want you to look behind you and make sure your left leg is straight out behind you. And I can tell you that there's a few of you that need to move your left leg over a little. And now, either kick your foot up and grab it with your left hand, or interlock your fingers behind your back, and then puff up your chest. And beautiful. Release your hands forward. Walk your body forward. Forehead comes down onto two stacked fists, two stacked hands, or right onto the floor. And then just soften into it and see if you can, I'm going to use Master Teacher Eric Schiffman's words, see if you can wriggle around in it. And just sort of approximate the intention of the posture. Because each posture, if you look up at that poster out in the hall here, well, that guy's doing postures, what people would say perfectly or accurately. That guy's body is different than yours, so each posture is individual. So you want to just sort of feel around, approximate the intention, and see what's right for you. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you melt your torso over your bent leg. Try to flex the foot that's underneath the body if you can. Wrinkle free if you can. Some of you can separate your elbows like wings to drop the shoulders a little bit more. And the way that I remembered that we didn't do pigeon was I didn't remember, I missed it totally, but I looked at my watch and I saw that I had too much time on, so I wondered where that time went, and that's when I asked. Guy walks into a bar and goes, ouch, it was an iron bar. A horse walks into a bar and the bartender says, why the long face? I'm here all week, try the veal. Climb out of it, get yourself back into downward dog. You see, that's not why I love Jennifer so much. She's heard all my jokes 100 times, but she still laughs. Get yourself back into downward dog. And swing the left leg way up high, back down and through. Left knee comes towards the left wrist. Let it touch the left wrist, favor the left wrist, poke out beyond the left wrist. And now, point your right toes, walk up onto your fingers, walk your fingertips beside your hips. If you can, grab onto that foot with your hand, or just interlock behind your back. We need to open the hips forward now. Hold that stretch, release your hands forward, and walk your body forward. Forehead comes down onto two stacked fists, two stacked hands, or right onto the floor. Wonderful restorative posture. In this room, we do not buy into the degeneration of the body. We buy into the regeneration of the body, and that's what's happening in this beautiful restorative posture. Same thing, some of you could separate your elbows like wings to drop the shoulders. Do whatever you can do to melt your torso over your bent leg. And you want to be feeling this posture in your left buttocks. You want to be feeling the stretch in your left buttocks or left piriformis. And just melt and breathe. Okay, climb out of it slowly. You can take as much time as you need to do it, as efficiently as you can, as mindfully as you can, as slowly as you can. Get yourself back into downward dog. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. And now drop your knees to the floor, sit down, hips on the heels. Inhale as you turn around. Exhale, lay down. Shavasana time, that time. Soften. Let it go. We have spectators. Zip up your legs, flex your toes towards your nose, cross your arms across your heart, roll up. Elbow forward, double left and left. Reach the feet, hold the stretch at the end. And now take a quarter turn to the right to face the west wall, I think it is. It's one of those walls, west of east. And final spinal. Bend your left leg, slide it underneath your right leg. Left under right. Right ankle up across and over. And right ankle up across and over. Now, make sure that your right hip is touching the ground. If your right hip is not touching the ground, straighten your left leg and it will go down. Don't sit on your ankle. Foundation of this posture is important. Right arm behind you, you give yourself sort of a second spine. Left arm up across and over, hook it onto that thigh, high five, straight it out, grab the opposite knee, grab the towel, whatever you can do. Here we go. Or do mine, very nice. Inhale, lift up out of the waist. Exhale and twist, feeling the twist in the belly button area. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale and spin, spin, spin until you win. One more time. Inhale, lift up out of the waist. Exhale and twist your intestines like a dish rag, and then let it go. Give yourself a counter twist by looking at the back wall, a gentle counter twist, and then switch your legs. Right leg goes underneath the left leg, left ankle up across and over. Left arm behind you to give yourself a second spine, right arm up across and over. Make sure that the left hip is glued to the mat. If you can't get it down, straighten your right leg and it'll go down. Inhale, tall, tall, tall. Exhale, feel the twist, bring your body out. We've worked this hard to get to this posture. Inhale, lift up out of the waist. Exhale, feel the twist. One more time. Inhale, lift up, get tall. Exhale, do your impression of Linda Blair in The Exorcist, and then let it go. Give yourself a counter twist. Bring the bottoms of your feet together for butterfly pose. Bottoms of the feet together. Place your hands behind your hips and lift your hips up close to your heels. Get one big toe on each piece, finger and thumb. Get a nice tight grip. And now, for the first part of this posture, we're going to have a long neck. Broad chest, shoulders down and back. Start, glue the baby toes together, pull the big toes open like a book. And just think about touching your chin to the floor in front of your feet. Hinging at the hips. And now that you're hinging forward, some of you are dropping your elbows into your thighs. You need to drop them to the creases of your hips, to your calves, or even on the floor. As soon as you drop your elbows into your thighs, you can't get as deep into this posture. Looking good. Nice, Sarah. And now, excuse me, sit up straight. Keep a hold of those toes. Tuck your chin into the chest like a rabbit and round down. Try to touch the forehead to the two big toes. You should be feeling, or you might be feeling, a nice stretch on your inner thighs. That's letting you know your hips are open. If you don't feel a stretch there, there's a good chance that your knees are touching on either side of the mat. And to get and that means your hips are open. To get your knees to touch, you don't press them down, you stretch them out. Boy, it's hot in here. Let it go, lift up. Let go of the toes, keep the feet glued together, and slide those glued together feet away from your hips and make a perfect diamond-shaped hole like this with your legs. Good. Place your palms down inside that hole, inside. Slide your hands right underneath your ankles. The palms of your hands go on the tops of your feet, and the tops of your fingers line up with the tops of your toes. Beautiful. And this one may not seem as extreme as the previous two, but it's actually preparing your body, opening your hips for the next time you practice. Let it go. Sit up straight. Give your knees a hug. Take a quarter turn to face the front mirror. Final breathing. Shining skull breathing. Kapalabhati breathing. Detoxifying breath. Knees together, heels together. Sit down, hips on the heels. And if that's not good, sit down cross-legged. And if you want, you can sit in lotus. And now, normally I say place one hand on your thigh, one hand on your belly button, but I have a new way of doing it. One hand on your belly button, one hand over your mouth. Cough 2 times. Okay, so you just felt the motion we're after, the snapping motion. But we don't cough. It's okay, there's enough coughing. But we don't cough, we just go snapping the belly button into the spine. You can leave your hand on your belly button and one hand on the thigh, or both hands on the thigh. Get ready, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, begin. Slow it down. There we go. Make sure the shoulders aren't bouncing. Touch your forehead to the floor to lock in the energy. And then sit up and turn around and get yourself into Shavasana as soon as you can. And try not to touch your water for at least 5 minutes. So, just turn around and get into Shavasana. If you're really thirsty, don't touch your water, just focus on your thirst. And now, just soften into the mat. I'm going to teach you one more breathing technique here. This one will calm your body down anywhere, anytime. Close your eyes and look, but don't stare at the space between the eyebrows. This is known as the mind space. In Sanskrit, we call it the Chitakasha, consciousness space. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine there's a hole between your eyebrows. Every inhale, the air comes in through that hole and hits the back of your skull from the inside. Every exhale, it leaves from the back of your skull through that little hole, same way. The time right now is 2 minutes to 1, so there's no reason for anybody to leave the class for the next 2 minutes. I'd like you to stay for at least a 10-minute Shavasana if you can. And now I'm going to finish with a poem. Before I do, mentally thank everybody in the room for being here today. Send that out. Once again, mentally, thank the room for being here today, and just send yourself a message to soften even more now. And here's a poem by Irma Bombeck. It's called It's Later Than You Think. Some of you might have heard it before, but I think it's so good that when I open a studio, I'm going to put this one up on the wall. It goes like this. Time. It hangs heavy for the bored, eludes the busy, flies by for the young, and runs out for the aged. Time. We talk about it like it's a manufactured commodity that some can afford, others can't. Some can reproduce, others waste. We crave it, we curse it, we kill it, we abuse it. Is it a friend or an enemy? I suspect we know very little about it. To know it all and its potential, perhaps we should view it through a child's eyes. When I was young, Daddy was going to throw me up in the air and catch me, and I would giggle until I couldn't giggle anymore. But he had to change the furnace filter. Wasn't time. When I was young, Mom was going to read me a story, and I was going to turn the pages and pretend I could read, but she had to wax the bathroom, and there wasn't time. When I was young, Daddy was going to come to school and watch me and play. I was the 4th wise man, in case one of the 3 got sick. But he had an appointment to have his car tuned up, and it took longer than he thought, and there wasn't time. When I was young, Mom was going to listen to me read my essay on what I want to be when I grow up, but she was in the middle of her Monday night movie, and Gregory Peck was always one of her favorites, and there wasn't time. When I was older, Dad and I were going to go fishing one weekend, just the 2 of us, and we were going to pitch a tent, fry fish with the heads on them like they do in the flashlight ads. last minute he had to fertilize the grass, and there wasn't time. When I was older, the whole family was always going to pose together for our Christmas card, but my brother had ball practice, my sister had her hair up, Dad was watching the polls, Mom had to wax the bathroom. There wasn't time. When I grew up and left home to be married, I was going to sit down with Mom and Dad and tell them